Don Mazzella here for Small Business Digest. A couple of weeks ago, I had a woman on who runs a very successful uh, uh, baking firm, and I asked her with her husband, and I asked her in the middle of it, "Well, are you still together?" And he said, "Yes, we are." She said, "But that's a dangerous question because a lot of time when you go into business, husband and wife, you end up not being husband and wife." So much to my pleasure, came across my desk that Jamie, I'm going to mess it up, Ratner, and her husband uh, have a book about it, and that by and large, and by golly, they also have a company together. So we said, let's have them on the show. So welcome to the program, Jamie and Brian.
Thanks for
Okay.
having us.
Thank you, Don. Good to be here.
So, well, I'm going to start with you, Jamie. Tell us first about your personal background, how you got together, then about your company, and we'll talk about your book later on, and then finally a website.
Sure. So I met Brian right after I graduated from graduate school. Literally the day I met him at a bar in our hometown of Maryland, and immediately I thought I liked him right off the bat, but I had a boyfriend at the time. So he had asked about me, and then after when things didn't work out with the boyfriend, he got in touch, and we were together since. And that was we've been married 18 years.
Okay. And what's your company now that you work together?
So the company that we started is called Certificate, CERTIFIKID.com. And it's a website for deals and experiences for families at a discount. So, we have everything from amusement parks to farm festivals, to summer camps that we offer parents to buy from our site and find out what they should do with their kids. So that was the site we started. And then we also acquired a company called macaronikid.com, which spelled how it sounds. And that is made up of publishers throughout the country, predominantly moms who keep up as to what there is to do locally for parents in their area. They keep a calendar, they keep the list of everything there is to do. So there's about 400 of those publishers nationwide. And so that's the other business that we're running.
Wow. Okay. So, let's have your website one more time.
So Certificate, CERTIFIKID.com, and then Macaroni Kid, MACARONIKID.com.
See,
I'm
Don,
sorry to do that,
I'm needed for something.
Okay, but well, we're going to go down two tracks because we want to know for a little bit about working together. But it sounds as if you have a really interesting business as well. So we're not going to let that go by the boards. But before we go any further, you have a book. What's it about?
So this is the book Parentpreneurs, and it's a mix of Brian and I talking about our story of how the business started, but also, what we've experienced doing it while being parents and married together, and, all that's involved, the good, the bad, the roller coaster we've been on, and showing that, if we could do this, having no business background, that
I think the dog is barking. So if we can do this, then anyone can do it. I think that's a principal message, and it's just kind of mixing business with marriage and parenting, and which we think is a really important topic right now, as there has been a real shift, obviously, and during the pandemic. We have more people working remotely, rethinking their work-life balance, how they can be more fulfilled in their professional and personal lives, and more open to starting and trying new things. So we think the book also, in addition to being a great entertaining read here back to school, it's a fast read, but we also think in our story we think is interesting, and we tell lots of great inside scoop on our time on Shark Tank, and through the pandemic, persevering through it, but also inspiring people to rethink their purpose and considering working with their spouse or partner.
Well, you opened so many doors. Well, let's stop for a minute because people are always interested. Well, your experience with Shark Tank. So you have a Shark Tank investor?
We do. So we went on the show in 2019, pre-pandemic, and we are very pleased to with our with the experience, which was crazy. And we go into we open the door on a lot of things that people I think are really interested in because they love the show. Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, is our investor. It was our first external investment that we had needed during the course of the business because the business was profitable in the first couple months. So he's been a phenomenal strategic partner for us since then, and really helped us navigate our way through the pandemic, which was really challenging. Obviously, as Jamie said, the essence of Certificate is family experiences outside the home. Pandemic comes, so obviously that kind of went right off the cliff. So we really had to persevere and pivot, and like so many other businesses did. And he was a great consultant and advisor for us during that process, where we now feel we're stronger on the other side in terms of our business foundation.
But you, Jamie, you said you have 400 equivalent reporters across the country.
Yeah.
Do they have their own sites, or do they come through your site, or how does that work?
We own the platform, and we provide them all the tools and the training for them to run their own business. But they, it's, they run it, and they keep 100% of the revenue that they sell on advertising for their particular town. But we own, the entire system. So then we do paid advertising through bigger brands across the country for them.
Brands assume that are anxious to reach parents.
Yes. So yeah, anyone who has Kraft has a new mac and cheese flavor, they're going to come to us to spread the word for them through the network that we have.
Which is over 2 million subscribers, 2 to 3 million subscribers, across the country in small towns and big cities alike, through our sites and network.
So it would seem to me that someone that had a product aimed at children would also come to you if they had like a new toy or something. Am I correct in that?
Correct. Yes. We would be able to show parents using the toy, experience it where they can buy it at their local store. We can get hyper local with it. So lots we can do.
So the essence of the business is really, it's a resource, right? Like a resource for families for everything that they would want or need, and then also anything that they want to do with their kids.
Well, then let's talk about some of the ups and downs. What are some of the positives to being a couple working together, and some of the negatives?
So I think the positives are that, the person you're working with is always there. So, there's no waiting till next week to have a meeting. If you have an idea pop in your head, you can talk about it at dinner while you're putting the dishes away, whatever it is. And you make good use of that. There's also that boring time, like doing dishes. So, we make it interesting because we're always having really good conversations about the business. So we certainly take advantage of the time, the drives, the times we're in the car to go to soccer games. We're always working away. So it's a good use of time.
Well, having said that, what are the negatives?
The negatives are it never ends. You never get a break. You're constantly talking about it from the second, I think I woke up this morning and rolled out of bed and I said something to Brian about, we got to do that, like, it's literally the first thing. And it's the last thing before you go to bed that you're still, whatever's in your mind, you're talking about it. So it really never, you can never shut it off.
Hmm. Well, that's what most people say. What happens if you disagree business-wise?
Oh, well, she's
Disagree.
always right.
Uh,
Now, she would say we don't disagree very much.
mm,
Oh no, we disagree.
Well, so it's easy because the way we work is very we fit because we both have different strengths. Jamie conceives and she creates, and she moves very, very fast. So I usually receive all of that, and I'm not like that. So I'll receive that, and I'm more focused on the execution, the implementation, the polish, perfecting something, refining it, questioning it. So that kind of works its way through our process, and we've got a finished product or decision. And the key is, though, we've always have been able to find consensus. Her view, I think, is that sometimes that she feels like I'll say no to something or won't want to do something, but ultimately she's very persistent. So she will ultimately get what she wants, but it may not be when she wants it.
well, I guess now the next question is, you have the investor. I was told that, and I've seen some of the contracts for Shark Tank, that in the end you don't end up with your own company. Are you still the majority owners?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I think that was a lot more of the reputation in some of the examples early on in the Shark Tank experience. There were other things and features of the early deals, like the network took a percentage and things like that. So that really has shifted over the last, 5 to 8 years. They've really tried to shift it, because they were trying to get better entrepreneurs, better, to come on the show, to continue to come on the show, which is still running really strong. So yeah, so I mean, we had the one thing people don't realize is it's a handshake deal on the show. You then have to go away and paper it and negotiate the actual terms, and both parties can change or walk away at any point. Also, the sharks on the show, the only information they have about you is what you tell them in your presentation. They get no information in advance, so they've done no diligence. So obviously there's a diligence process that so if you say you've made $1 million in sales, and they see in the diligence that actually it was only 500,000, well, that can impact the terms of your deal, and they can that's going to impact the negotiation. So we knew all of that, and had the benefit of being a very sophisticated company. We had been in business for 10 years. We were very profitable, which of course Mr. Wonderful likes. So we actually, even though our negotiation took 6 months to paper the deal and finalize it, it was on the same basis of the terms agreed on television. There's devils in the details because you're not agreeing to all the terms. It's just the high level financial terms. And all that had to get worked out and sorted through. But no, he is a minority investor in our company, and the only external minority investor in our company today.
Okay. So now, Jamie, bring up the book again and tell us some of the things that what made you decide to write the book?
I love to read, and I love every kind of book, but particularly business books. But there's not many written in a format that I loved, that I just couldn't put down. I love the concept of, I really wanted to write one. There's a couple out there that I felt were similar, but I wanted to write it in a form that even if you weren't in a business type, that you would still pick this up and you would not be able to put it down. And that's what we're hearing from people who are reading it, who are not even entrepreneur ish that they're really enjoying it. Like I wanted it to be something that you enjoyed reading, that was fun, that has emotion, that you really get into the characters, who are me and Brian. But the way it's written is in a it's a she said, he said, and then we say each chapter, and each chapter is a year of our journey. So, you get to experience it from my perspective, then his perspective, and then what we learned together from that year. So that was kind of
Do you
where it all
consider your
started.
marriage stronger at the end of this journey?
That's a good question. I think we understand each other a little more and have learned, see things from each other's perspective that we had no idea. There was a lot we learned through this process.
Well, the question in my studies of couples like yourself, it's always the marriages founded on the fact that they've reached the point of disagreeing on a major issue.
Uh,
What would you? It seems as if you haven't disagreed yet on a major issue.
no, I think no, there hasn't been anything that's been really that we wouldn't talk about, or we just communicate and share our perspectives, and I appreciate his perspective and take it in as to what I'm thinking, and we come together somehow.
What do you
think
think would
also,
happen if you reach a major crisis point? Let's say, for instance, an exit strategy. You, one might. How would you resolve it?
well, I did mention earlier that she's always right. I think, I mean, I think the way we have set up the business really, I think, does protect us in many ways against this being a major issue, because Jamie is the face, the leader, the CEO of the business. My title is president, and I'm supporting her and have, an important strategic role. But as a result, there's, she's driving the business forward. But we try to make all the major decisions collectively, and I think it helps that we've generally had, so a lot of it is me reacting to her and kind of where she thinks the business needs to go. So I think that the best answer to that question of what if so and so happened in the future is we've had so many inflection points to date through 12 years of the business, and have worked our way through them, and we think made really good decisions, but also have learned from so many of those decisions. So I think that experience base is going to help us be that much more equipped to deal with a really difficult problem in the future. And in the end, I'm pretty confident that it's going to be us agreeing and finding a way to work through something that Jamie wants to do because she thinks it's best for the business.
Boy, that's a big admission. You should put you should put that.
She's going to quote me on that the next time that I fight her on something, I'm sure.
Well, it's fine that you can do that. We only have a couple of minutes left. What your website again, and tell us what you would like to leave the audience with.
So the website again is certifikid.com, certifikid.com. And then the other one is macaronikid.com, macaronikid.com. And I guess, if you are a parent and you are looking for things to do with your kids, definitely check out those. If you're an entrepreneur and you want to start a macaroni kid in your local area, it's a great opportunity. And for anybody who's listening, checking out Parentpreneur is a great read. You'll probably read it in a day and you'll feel inspired and entertained at the same time.
And we think there are a lot of new parentpreneurs that are out there that are rethinking their professional life, and opportunities and their purpose, and we hope this inspires parents to think about doing something new with their spouse or partner, because we are an example of how that, yes, it's hard work, but it's also enriching in so many ways. And if we can do it, they can do it.
Well, on that note, we should. Well, that's unusual. The male got the last vote. Do you want to, Jamie? Do you want to say anything more?
You should.
No, I agree. I really think that it, the book, if we can do it, and it doesn't have to even be a business. It just really will inspire you to do anything and do something even with your partner. So pick it up.
Okay. On that note, we say thank you both for what to me was a very interesting and illuminating time.